Good day, beautiful people. Welcome once again to your favorite program, our favorite program, The Conversation, coming to you from TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Nelson Ekujimi, and I have here with me in the studio Richard Adeyinka Emmanuel, the CEO, Data Home Research and Communications Limited. Babarichi.
Good to be here.
Thank you for joining us on The Conversation again.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Well, top of the bill, like we all know, The Conversation is a public issue-centered program that looks at happenings in Nigeria and the diaspora. Top of the bill today, we want to look at the latest issue regarding the Lagos State House of Assembly, where the DSS and the police came calling, and people have termed it all sorts. Some have described it as an invasion, but for somebody like myself, Nelson Ekujimi, I have described it as an issue that needs to be properly investigated so that we can situate the blames appropriately, because I thought it was an invasion, actually, like every other, like most people who want to, run with. But later I got to know that there was an invitation to the DSS to come and beef up security because of a likely threat to law and order. And whether the security agencies in performing that functions, which is their responsibility under law, whether they overstep their bounds is another kettle of fish entirely. So for me, I believe the DSS never invaded the Lagos State House of Assembly. I believe strongly, because of what is the public domain, which has not been countered, that they were appropriately invited. That, look, there's a likely breach of peace on the 18th. Yeah. And because it's their responsibility to maintain law and order, they acted swiftly. Whether they now went beyond their bounds,
by locking the office of the speaker and the deputy, and also and perhaps that is what happened. And like you have rightly said, there is a need to investigate it further and see if that was part of their brief, to lock the speaker out, to lock the deputy out, and
as well as the clerk.
And the clerk that even invited them. The acting clerk that invited them, that signed the letter that we are all seeing in public domain. So there is a need to really investigate.
But Richard, would we be wrong to say maybe locking up those places was part of their security measures? Yes.
Perhaps that is what happened. We have established that now, that by the virtue of the letter in public domain, they were invited.
Yes.
So no invasion.
Invasion, yes. There's nothing like
they were invited, they came. Maybe what we are not privy to is the fact that they have their own strategy and say, let us shut down everywhere so that it's part of ways to protect and maintain peace. Yes. So I believe truly that, yes, it is possible that they overstep their bound, but at the same time, we shouldn't reach conclusion yet. They were invited. It could be their internal strategy to maintain peace. That's why they extended it to that point. So we should become, the house is still sitting, the speaker is still
she has even adjourned.
So, and she's still in office. Nothing has happened.
Yes.
So, but what we cannot deny now is the power play. I remember maybe sometimes in January we treated this issue.
Absolutely.
Where we said, once the power that be says this is what will happen, that it will happen, and we now advised the former speaker to just accept that,
or go to court,
which he has gone now.
Has done, yeah.
So there is no question about the audacity the former speaker is displaying. Don't forget that immediately that thing happened, they organized the street credibility walk in Agege for him, beating drums like campaign, and the supporters were, like that on the streets. He was waving and all of that, showing that I am still relevant here. This is still my domain. So,
but nobody is struggling because he still holds the mantle of representation of that.
Yes, he still holds that power.
So, what is the essence of that?
Something is playing out that everybody has not seen. Two powers.
Is it the hand of Jacob or the voice of the voice of
No, we don't know. We've not even heard the voice. We've not heard the voice. Okay. But the assembly members they know the power behind them that push them to act the way they have acted and still acting. And the man himself, the former speaker, knows the power behind him that is pushing him, giving him the confidence to do what he's doing. So what we cannot deny, the power play and the show of power between two parties. We don't know among the GAC members and even the Oga at the top, the president himself, who always shows interest in Lagos affairs.
Because that's his own base.
So it is.
It is natural.
And then
anybody must do that.
He also, what is affecting Obasa now?
Yeah.
Don't let us forget the fact that it's about zoning arrangements. The governor is from Lagos Central.
Lagos Central.
So Miranda now is also from Lagos Central.
Yeah.
That means the arrangement, the former arrangement, has been altered and offset.
Yes.
You know, so and the zone that is losing out now is the zone of Mr. President.
Yes, Lagos West.
It's Lagos West.
Yes.
And don't forget that he is in Abuja. Yes. Lagos West is completely weakened.
Yes.
He is in Abuja.
But Lagos West now has the deputy speaker.
Yeah. We are saying that, you know, before you had Aregbesola holding sway in that
in the Lagos West.
yes. And you now also had Yayi.
Yes.
From that zone also.
Yes.
Two of them no more.
Yes.
And
they are not dead though. They are.
No, they are not. They are alive.
They are out of the political equation.
Yes, in Alimosho, the Lagos West entirely. So that place has really been weakened with their absence or inactivity.
And
the president that should hold that district is also in Abuja.
No, don't forget that. Even though we recognize that Mr. President represented Lagos West in the National Assembly in 1992-93 as a senator, the political equation, like you have rightly said now, that the governor is from Lagos Central, why is the speaker coming from Lagos Central? Let me also bring it to the attention of our viewers that there was a sort of referendum in which members of the legislatures representing Lagos West said they are comfortable
working with
that we should allow it be. So I don't, like you have rightly said, the former speaker is trying to still show that he wants to remain relevant. But for me, if you ask me, I think it is not out of place for the former speaker to recognize that what has happened is a referendum on his leadership.
It is not him that is. It is the power behind him.
Even if there's a power behind you, you know, Yoruba always have. I'm a Yoruba man, and we have this saying that "Tabaran mo nishe eru."
You know that it is not so in politics.
Yes,
that is no issue of former.
No, but at times in politics,
you go all out for it.
At times in politics, when they say "Ma jolo, mo nwe yen," be careful, oh. Yes. Don't overdance. Always be looking at your back. Oh.
You will look at your back if you consider also the relationship between you and the man that is saying continue, go and reclaim your mandate.
Yes.
Now that is not, he has not lost his mandate as a rep from Agege.
No, he's a speakership.
Where we are talking now.
But the speakership is the prerogative of the members.
Of members.
And based on their party dynamics. Yes.
That is it. And don't forget, over time, since 1999, this Lagos Assembly has served the interest of the power that be. Don't forget the Madam Bucknor leaving the office.
When you run into stormy waters with your...
So, the State Assembly has been...
laws of power. Everybody should go and read it
has been strategic.
Yes.
So, the power that be holds that state that assembly for is a special purpose vehicle for the power that be to checkmate excessiveness of anybody. Don't forget.
What do you mean by that?
Don't forget the petrol impeachment. They are the ones that have impeached. Lagos State has had maybe.
But we have never had any impeached governor in Lagos Since 1999.
Pedro has not been impeached.
The governor, no impeached
No,
governor.
no, not the impeached governor. We are saying that the number two, I'm talking about number two office, and now the state assembly has been used. State assembly appears to be like.
Are you saying the state house of assembly was used to impeach?
It's a special purpose.
Are you now saying that the speaker, the state house of assembly, was also used to impeach its own speaker?
No, the speaker himself, whoever is the
former
speaker,
yes.
the former speaker,
yes.
whoever is speaker, is not just speaker on the face value.
Yes.
There are certain responsibilities attached to it. Even there are feelers that I have been hearing since this issue began, that Obasa was the strong man behind the president's, I think one of the support groups, prominent support groups, funded the support group saying, Oga, we are behind you and all of that. So the president, whoever is
these are rumors.
These are rumors. That after unconfirmed.
Yeah, okay.
But what we are saying is that the speaker represents an interest, that office, not the personality now. The speaker, that office represents an interest.
What interest is that?
The interest of whoever wants to use it.
No, I don't agree. Because, you know, in a political setting, we have the governor as number one. We have the deputy governor as number two. The speaker becomes number three. Then we have the chief judge as number four.
Yes.
So how can you say the speakership office?
That office is a special. We know.
Well, I don't know.
Yes, I'm not a member of any political party.
Yeah. Neither am I.
But I am an observer.
And so am I.
What I've observed since 1999 is that office and that of the state assembly has been used to whip whoever a stray member into line.
I don't agree
so
with you.
The interest is high in that state assembly.
Of course, the office of the speaker is always a very highly exalted office.
And there is also the issue of we don't want to give the state assembly members the power that they are looking for.
Which power? Which power are they looking for?
The power to choose who they want.
Are you telling me, Richard, you know, one of the beauty of the media is to inform and educate.
That is it.
And a lot of times, I tell people, when we come here, we don't grandstand.
Yes.
And we don't play to the gallery.
At all.
The reality of our situation is what we should paint here.
Yes.
That in political, even in town unions, you and I know that if some key members don't support a candidate for an aspirant for a office, that aspirant might be running against the winds, might be sailing against the winds. So in this case, the party, before the speaker emerges, within the party dynamics, the party will say, okay, we are zoning, you know, like we always say, the essence of democracy is, you know, to breed equity, breed justice. So the party can say, okay,
on paper.
Even no.
On paper, reality, we have seen that sometimes democracy has fallen.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you know, we human beings are involved, so we can't have a perfect system. So we can say, okay, the governor. Okay, for example, look at what you said. The governor is from Lagos Central, the speaker is from Lagos West, the deputy governor is from, you know, and what have you. So if that equation now changes, I don't think we should have a rumble in the jungle.
And the power, those who see the stakeholders, we are not stakeholders. Just outside that,
we are stakeholders as Lagosians.
Yes, but stakeholders past stakeholders. We know that there are inner stakeholders. The stakeholders, the main players themselves.
Yeah, the main gladiators.
Yes, they know what is at stake even more than us. So what we are hearing is just because we live in Lagos, we have friends in Lagos that are close to all of this, and we hear what they say, even though not on paper. But just look at the two parties, the parties that removed the former speaker and the former speaker himself. That tells you we have two powers within the power. one supporting the Mr. Speaker, or the Mr.
Former Speaker,
and then
we
the
have
other,
the Speaker, Miranda.
yes, the other party.
The other
there
party.
is also another power,
Yeah.
and all of them, they also belong to the larger
This
power.
family, okay.
So now, who blinks first, or who wins?
Yeah.
Is the case that they will now have to deal with. Each member, don't forget, has a leader.
Yeah.
And many of these people, we know that on their own, their names cannot win them election.
Absolutely.
They drop names. You must drop names. If you go, all these members now, if they leave APC, for instance, go to another party, 90% they will lose.
They will lose, yeah, absolutely.
So it is not their name that
it is the vehicle that they are in.
It is the vehicle
that gives
the
them
support.
The
name they drop.
I agree with
and
you.
that name includes that of the president too,
Yes.
and other members.
But you know, as the president is like the father of all. You know,
even before he became president.
Yes,
that has been the
yes,
case.
that has, you know, in people from the northern part of the country, if you are conversant with them, if, for example, I come from Guruzu, a lot of times people bear names
of their town.
Of their towns, you know. That's your identity. So if
we have Kotagora, we have Guzan,
yeah, you know. So if members of the party now drops the name of the leader of the party, you also accept that as
you will support
yes.
you to get to the finishing line.
Well, like we have said, the activities that happened at the Lagos State House of Assembly on the 18th is one that going forward we need to investigate, because I would have expected the security agencies to have interacted even with the leadership of the House. But it's like that never happened. And that was part of the reasons why we had that Ula Balu, that members were being barred from entering the hallowed chambers, you know, for lawmaking. I think we can do better than this.
We can
do
for
better
sure.
than this.
So, but we must investigate further to establish what happened.
Absolutely.
Why DSS did what they did outside of their invitation.
Well, I can't say, because, you know, they are security agencies.
They should establish that. And ensure that they didn't
go beyond the They need to investigate the conduct of their officers. Because even if we say they are not supposed to be in the hallowed chambers, if they have a reason to suspect that there's a threat to the life of members, they can come in there stop. And, you know.
I agree.
So I don't think anybody saying they don't have a right to the hallowed chambers. It's about protection of life and property. If anything happens there, tomorrow we'll say they were informed, but they didn't take any action. So, well, as we wait for further investigation on this matter, ladies and gentlemen, we want to go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please continue to watch the conversation coming to you from TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. We'll be right back.